Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who have taught us this truth and rule well. Peace and salutations to the chosen and the elect. I'm Ariak Zabat out of the GMS Dallas camp. And I kind of want to go into Isaiah chapter 34. I'm going to go into it in parts. And I did say Isaiah chapter 34. Salaki if I said anything different. But I want to go into this chapter, probably get through the first 3 verses. There's a lot of meat in here. And, see where the Spirit takes us. All right. This is Isaiah chapter 34, verse 1. And it reads, "Come near ye nations, to hear and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it." And, starting from the top of verse 1 where it says, come near ye nations, and to hear and hearken. Hearken means to listen, listen up. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai speaking, This is the word going out, via the prophets. And this is the reason that the internet was really designed for, so the word can get out throughout the 4 corners of the earth, because we, scattered, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who are Israelites are scattered throughout the 4 corners of the earth amongst the other nations. So this word has to get out, And then also, the nations has to hear it too, because it's not only is it for, our people to hear it, the chosen and elect that's scattered amongst the nations, but also our enemies, the heathens. They got to hear their judgment as well, before the punishment gets here. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to verse 2. And it reads, "For the indignation of Yahweh is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He had utterly destroyed them. He had delivered them to the slaughter." All right. So, that's going into when it speaks about his indignation, that means his righteous anger, his anger, is going, he's going to pay the nations with his anger. And why? Is because all the nations had a part of keeping, us Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, in a low condition. So, he's, his indignation is his righteous anger. And also, his righteous anger is those nuclear ICBMs. That's gonna be the destruction of Babylon the Great. That you can also read about in Psalms, chapter 2 as well. And actually, let's get a precept that's going into that, because this here, when it says all their armies, it's fury upon all the armies, this is that war in heaven that's breaking out, which is World War 3. You can read that in Joel chapter 3, where the armies are gathered, being prepared for war, and World War 3. And then also, let's get that in Revelation. Let's see. Let's get that in Revelation chapter 12. All right. This is Revelation chapter 12 and verse 7. And it reads, "And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought against his angels." And we know that dragon is Esau and the other nations, because of them, because they're gonna these other Esau and other nations, they're going to be fighting each other, because that's World War III being broken out. That's being gathered, that we read about in Joel 3. And they're going to stop fighting each other, and then, go turn around and fight, to come together and fight, against our power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And they're going to lose, because Yahweh Shai going to, come with the angels, and they're going to be in the chariots, All right. And we can get some of those accounts too as well. Let's get one of those accounts, and let's see. I think it's in Second Esdras. Yeah, Second Esdras, chapter 13, and verse 9. And it reads, "And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war." Verse 10, "But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire," and that's those laser beams coming out of the chariots, "and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests." So yeah, those are the Yahweh Shai and the angels in the chariots, zapping, zapping this place, Babylon the Great, and the people, that's in it. It's going to be total destruction. That's the day of the Lord. It's not going to be a pretty, sight to see. 2/3 of our people, who ever make it up to that time, judgment's going to be coming out upon them. The other nations, people that's here, the heathen, so hey, it's going to be it's not going to be a pretty sight. Let's get another precept. And this precept is in Isaiah 63. Let's get that in verse 1. And it reads, "Who is that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra?" That is, so let me read that again. "Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save." You see? And this is Yahweh Shai, and he's where it says coming from Edom, and with dyed garments from Basra. We understand this is Esau Edom he's talking about, and Basra, was a capital city in Edom, So this is today. Babylon the Great would be that modern day Basra. All right. Let me grab another precept too. I think it's in, actually it's in it's a few chapters over. Isaiah 66 and verse 15. And it reads, "For behold, the Lord Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire." You see? For about verse 16, "For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh." So that's judgment for everybody. "And the slain of the Lord shall be many." And that's why, it's so important for, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who are Israelites, to wake up, out of this confusion and darkness that you're walking in, believing in the philosophies of this world, thinking that, your enemy is your friend. You're going to rule with your enemy in his kingdom. That's just not going to happen. Okay. You in captivity. This is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man rulership right now, So, hey, this is judgment that's going to be going out throughout the world, on the day of the Lord. So you want to make sure you that chosen and elect, Lord willing, the hopeful chosen and elect. Okay. So, this is the time, to repent and return back to your power. So, hoping that, you delivered in that time. Okay. All right. And also, let's go into I think this account was in Habakkuk 3 and 4 as well. Habakkuk, I mean. And it reads, and his brightness was as the light. He had horns coming out of his hand, and there was hiding of his power. You see, before him went the pestilence, and burning coals went forth at his feet. You know, so this is when it says, and his brightness was as light. He had horns coming out, and those horns is representing power coming out of his hand. Those are the laser beams. You know, coming out of the chariots. You know, so this is that destruction. You know, that indignation that's kindled the Most High. You know, for what the outer nations. You know, starting with Esau, Edom. You know, against his people. You know, that we read about in Psalms, the 83rd chapter. Okay. All right. Let's while we skip that other precept in Psalms chapter 2. This is Psalms chapter 2, starting verse 2, and it reads, "The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh and against his anointed, saying, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, let us break their bands asunder." And anointed, you know, is Israel. Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. You know, he that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. And these people, you know, really believing. Let's get verse 5 real quick. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath and vex them in his sort of pleasure. Yeah, because, you know, these devils and these other nations, you know, by putting us in slavery, you know, they know we under the curses. But see, these curses are about to go, you know, upon them as well. You know, these other nations about to be under the curses, and we're gonna get that, and they understand this as well. Let's get that in Lamentations chapter 4, verse 21. This is Lamentations chapter 4, verse 21, and it reads, "Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup, which are the curses, also shall pass through unto thee." So the curse is going to come upon, you know, Esau, Edom as well. "Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked," which means exposed. Okay. Verse 22, and it reads, "The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins." And they're going to get that judgment. So, you know, starting with the banking family, you know, Esau, Edom, they are going into slavery too. And let's continue reading in Psalms chapter 2. We'll start from verse 6, and it reads, "Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree. The Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, had said unto me, Thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee." All right. Verse 8, "Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance." See, because the curse is going to go upon the heathen. Right now, we under the curses, but we coming out because we got this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding now. You know, we understand who we are. We're not looking at us as, you know, just black people and we slaves, and, you know, we don't know any better. We the worst on the earth. We below everybody without no understanding. Well, now that we do have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and we do understand that, you know, we had lost our heritage according to Jeremiah 17 and 4, that, hey, you know, this is his rulership, and, you know, his rulership about to fall. So again, we're going to read that again. It says, verse 8, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Verse 9, thou shalt break them with the rod of iron, thou shalt dash them into pieces like a potter's vessel. See? Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings, be instructed, ye judges of the earth. In verse 11, serve the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, with fear and rejoice with trembling. Because, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, the Lord is not our love. It's a balance. There's a balance. That's love, hate. He does get angry. He is merciful. So, these other nations, Esau and these other nations, hey, they have it coming. They're going into slavery as well. And let's get a account of that, of what's going to happen with their when they go to slavery. We're going to get that, what they're going to be doing. That's in Ezekiel chapter 39. Let's get that. And it reads, this is Ezekiel chapter 39, verse 11. It reads, and it shall come to pass in that day that I will give unto God a place thereof graves in Israel, the valley of the passengers on the east of the sea, and it shall stop the noses of the passengers, and there shall they bury God and all his multitude, and they shall call it the valley of Hamon-God. In verse 12, in 7 months shall the house of Israel be burying of them, that they may cleanse the land. And Israel is not going to be doing it themselves. We're going to be instructing, starting with the top banker family, the Rothschilds, the Rocker family, the elites. They're going to be the ones. We're going to be in the other nations. That's going to be their first job. When we're in rulership. And let's get that. In this area where this is happening, this is in the Middle East, because that's where that we read about in Joel, the 3rd chapter, in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. This is where that war is going to be taking place. So this is part of that judgment. And let's skip down to verse 14, and it reads, and they shall sever out men of continual employment passing through the land to bury with the passengers those that remain upon the face of the earth, to cleanse it after the end of 7 months. They shall search. And see, this is going back to, what was that? Was that Psalms chapter 2? Let me see. Yeah, that's when they're given to us as an inheritance. But what was that? It might have been Lamentations. Lamentations chapter 4. Because I just read it. Okay. All right. Or was it, where was that? Oh, no, Salakia. That was in, we got to go back to Isaiah, Salakia. This is Isaiah chapter 34. And it's verse 3. And it reads, their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcass, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. And that's what that precept is in Ezekiel chapter 39, verse 12. That's their stink that's coming up right there that we just read. That's going to be the first job of them when we in rulership. So they the ones that's going to be the other nations, starting with Esau, Edom, is going to be picking up the dead bodies and burying them under our rulership, because we're going to be in rulership. And let me go back to Ezekiel chapter 38, because we got a little bit on that to prove that. Where is that at? There we go. Ezekiel. What was that? Chapter 39. All right. And it reads, chapter 39, verse 14. And they shall sever out men of continual employment. See? And who is the they? The they is the Israelites, because we're in rulership at that time. We shall and they shall sever out men of continual employment, passing through the land to bury with the passengers those that remain upon the face of the earth, to cleanse it. After the end of 7 months shall they search. So that's their first job. They're going to be employed, the other nations. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. And with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Ra Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who have taught us this truth and rule well. Peace and salutations to the chosen and elect. Shalom.